right, welcome everyone to yet another fabulous episode of Peg City Chat with Nat. Today we are going to talk about something that everybody loves. I'm talking about coffee. Yum, yum, yum. So, of course, I need a little help with talking about coffee because there's lots of different things you can do with coffee, different trends. And I have someone who's a bit of a connoisseur and knows just a few things. And her name is Sara Lynn Cauchon. She's a YouTube star. You may have seen her on TV numerous times hosting a variety of shows. But she's here to chat with little old me today about our favorite topic, coffee. So, hi, Sara Lynn. How are you?
Hi, I am excellent and so excited to talk to you about what is one of my favorite topics as well, all the coffee. I love some coffee.
And I do want to say hello to a fellow Canuck because I know you're in the T-Dot.
That's right. That's very true. Hello.
Yeah. So I'll be heading there tomorrow, by the way. But anywho, we'll not talk about that right now. We're going to talk about popular methods that people use to make their coffee. So I know what my popular method is, and that's definitely using the press. So, what are some of the other methods that you know folks use to make their coffee?
You know what? There are so many methods out there available, and I just love it because it really gives you a chance to bring that coffee house experience home, and you can make really beautiful coffee for a lot less. I've been drinking a lot of Folgers Coffee House Blend lately. I'm absolutely loving it. It's got a nice, bold flavor, so if you're a black coffee drinker, it's nice and smooth. But if you like cream and sugar, it's bold enough that you can actually taste the coffee, which is really, really important. Today I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite brewing methods. So we've got some iced coffee, we've got some cold brew, which I'm sure you've heard a ton about. It's a huge trend right now, and it's really, really yummy and actually really easy to make at home. Of course, like you said, Natalie, there's the French press, which I love, pour over, and automatic drip. That's actually my go-to because I like to set my coffee pot the night before so that my coffee is ready in the morning.
Well, this is...
ever see that?
Yeah, exactly. You better be ready when I get up. So one of my, my fiance, he loves just dark coffee. That's it, black, dark roast. And myself, I like to have different flavors, etc. But I've never heard of the cold brewed or the poured over. So I'm very excited to hear about this. But before you tell us about that, what's your absolute favorite method, for sure?
It's hard to say. I definitely, like I said, I'm an automatic drip person because it's so convenient to set it the night before. But the flavor of cold brew is really, really unique and so yummy and really simple to do at home. So right now, those coffee houses are charging more than $5 for a cold brew coffee. And you can do this at home. This is an actual cold brewer that I'm using today, but you can also just do this in a mason jar if that's what you have on hand. It really is just a matter of combining 1 cup of Folgers Coffee House Blend and then 5 cups of cold filtered water. Then what you do is you put the unit in the refrigerator, you let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. And basically what you're doing is you're using time instead of heat to extract all of that delicious flavor from the coffee. And you end up with a coffee that's a bit lower in terms of acidity, but that has a nice, smoky, sweet flavor. I think you would be a huge fan. Cold brew is really nice enjoyed with flavors or sweeteners or cream, but because it's so flavorful, even people who enjoy all of those things will actually drink it black often.
So cold brewed versus iced. Tell me, what am I missing?
This is a really, really good question. So a traditional iced coffee is actually usually made in an automatic drip and then chilled in the refrigerator. When I'm making iced coffee, I actually like to use iced coffee cubes. That way I don't water down my iced coffee. So I'm still getting all that good, pure iced coffee flavor. And then cold brew is just a little different because it's actually brewed with cold water instead of hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I hope everyone listening here is writing this down because this is pretty... Yes. And it's one of those things where you want to go home and you want to try them all. You want to try them all to see which one is the best for you. Because, traditionally you just... However you've always been seeing coffee being made in your own household, that's kind of how you do it. But all of these all of these different ways are driving me crazy because I'm like, I want to try them all right now.
Well, if you're a fan of French press, like you said off the top, I think you'll also really love pour-over coffee. First of all, pour-over coffee is made in a beautiful carafe like this. What's not to love about that? It's just so gorgeous. But the other cool thing about pour-over coffee is that you can actually make individual portions. So you don't have to make a whole pot of it. You can just enjoy a single cup if you wanted to. And basically, the ratio I like is 3 tablespoons of coffee per 1 cup of water. And the real trick to this process is not pouring in your water all at once. You want to basically pour your water over just until the grounds are moistened. Let that steep, or what they call bloom in the coffee world. It's a fancy way of saying steep. Let that steep for about a minute, and then you can add the rest of your water. Let it bloom again, and what you end up with is just such a flavorful cup of coffee. You will absolutely love it.
Oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind right now. Like, this is unreal. Okay,
Always
so you talked about the automatic drip. So, I mean, the machine pretty much does it all for you. What is it about it that you enjoy so much? Obviously, the convenience, the efficiency.
It's super convenient and efficient, yes, but it also makes a really consistent cup of coffee. I mean, the great part about an automatic drip is that you're really making coffee en masse, which is my favorite way to enjoy it, in volume. But really, you get a nice, consistent cup of coffee each and every time. I find the best cup of coffee always comes from a nice, cold, filtered water. That's how you get the most consistency across cups of coffee. It's also really important, and people don't know this, to actually clean your coffee maker every once in a while.
Yes.
So what I like to do, I fill it with water and then add maybe a quarter cup or a half a cup of white vinegar. I run a cycle, and then I run another 2 just water cycles. And if you do that every few weeks or once a month, you end up with a really perfect cup of coffee every single time.
That's good to know, and glad that my fiance will be listening to me, because he hates to clean that thing, and I'm constantly on him, like, oh my gosh, like, what are you drinking? You're drinking dredge. So yes, thank you for that tip, because cleanliness is key, obviously. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's just break down. Let's get away from the topic of the processes right now, and tell me, what is your favorite coffee moment, if you have one?
You know, I'm a really early riser, so I find my most productive part of the day and the time where I get to do like some really great work or some quiet thinking is first thing in the morning. So I'm up at 6 a.m. I love to pour myself a nice big cup of Folgers Coffee House Blend, and then I will work for 1 or 2 hours before the rest of the world wakes up and things start getting busy and the day gets away from me. I don't know if you have that same experience, but I just find that is my favorite quiet time, like 6 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Yes, first thing in the morning is the same for me too. It's like something ingrained in my body that I have to have that hot beverage first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and
get your day started beautifully.
Exactly. And when you live in Winnipeg winters, you kind of need to do that.
So no cold brew for you in the winter.
Not at all. Not
no
at
wonder
all.
You love that French press so much.
So, you know, when we're talking about all these different tips and tricks, is there anything that you can advise folks for during the day while they're at work or anything like that to still get that, you know, their favorite coffee moment?
Still make it really special. One thing I like to do, I'm not sure if you've ever tried this. If you're a cream and sugar person, I highly recommend keeping some sweetened condensed milk in the refrigerator at work. So basically, sweetened condensed milk is like the perfect combination of sweetness and creaminess, and it basically adds both at once. So if you've never tried it, I definitely recommend it. That is a great way to kick up your coffee game a little bit. You basically just stir in a teaspoon into a nice hot brewed cup of coffee. I promise you, the flavor is incredible. You will absolutely love it.
Oh my gosh, I thank God I'm talking to you today, because, oh my goodness, you're just giving me all these great tips. I love it. So, okay, I like the French press. You like automatic drip. Other people like their cold brewed, etc. What does the way you brew coffee really say about you as a person?
You know what? I really just think that there is a coffee for each and every one of us. What I love about the Folgers Coffee House Blend is that it doesn't matter if you drink your coffee black. It's nice and smooth, so you can enjoy it that way. You can also enjoy it with cream and sugar. If you're one of those people who likes a ton of caramel and milk and whipped cream, you're still going to get a really robust, coffee or coffee flavor in your actual coffee. So I think that there is a coffee for everyone, a brewing method for everyone. And I know that the way I brew my coffee, what it says about me is that I just really love coffee and lots of it.
Yeah. And I just want to say to some folks that it's okay to have decaf. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if caffeine is not your thing, decaf is definitely a great option for sure.
Where can folks get some more information about this wonderful coffee?
Well, I have worked with Folgers to create the Folgers Coffee House at Home Guide. It's a really great guide to show you each and every one of these brewing methods that I've talked about today, plus lots of tips and tricks for taking your coffee game to the next level. You can find that at FolgersCoffee.com.
Thank you so much for your time. I hope that if I'm in Toronto in the next couple days, I somehow bump into you. You never know.
I hope so too. We'd love to have you.
But I will definitely be following all of your social media channels, of course. And thanks to everyone for listening. It's been a great Peg City Chat with Nat. And go brew yourself some coffee. Have a great day, guys.